Good morning or good evening, wherever you might be on this planet. And welcome today to Wild Woman Codes, really wild human codes, because it really applies for everybody. And I'm going live every single Wednesday at this time for the last few weeks and the next few weeks to share a bit more about some of these essential keys of living life fully embodied, fully alive, and looking at the places and the topics that might feel a little bit sticky, where we could call in more ease and flow and awareness into our life. And so each topic I'll be sharing about something different, and they are all inspired by topics and themes that are also being explored inside the Wild Women Temple, which is a membership portal online sanctuary for women who are on their path of awakening. And it's a global sisterhood that I host that is just doing epic things. And so this is inspired by that group. And so today I wanted to talk about a topic which is really dear to my heart, which I feel is super important, which is feminine embodiment. And what is feminine embodiment? And so let's start with the word embody first. Embody is kind of a hot word these days, I find, which is really means to get into the body, to tune into the body in the way that it feels and senses and perceives, not necessarily through the logic, rationale, understanding of the mind, although it's not separate, but to really tune in to the beauty of the senses that we've been given in order to understand our reality, in order to perceive the present moment, and in order to access the deep-seated amount of wisdom that lies inside the tissues of our body. And this is so important because most of us, I would go to say, spend most of our day operating in the mind, right? And it makes sense because our senses actually are also located on the mind. We see, we taste, we hear, we smell. And so a lot of what we perceive from the outside world comes in through the senses, is interpreted and understood, received through the mind, and then we make understanding of it. And the mind is a super helpful thing. It's not something that we want to get rid of. We can embrace the beauty and the quality, intelligence of the mind as well. However, the missing piece is really to also learn how to retrieve information from within our own body. And that's something that we seem to have really lost in our modern day, where we're on our screens quite often or engaging in heady conversations or debates or arguments, discussions. And so the practice of embodiment is to really come back to the body, to know the body as an intelligent vessel that is receiving life, that is perceiving life and actually is life, that it is actually not separate. And so what is feminine embodiment? Well, feminine embodiment is the capacity to really be inside this female body, to move, to sense, to access the places where she wants to move from the inside out rather than the outside in. To be able to really, to not only notice your breath when you take a breath in and out, you know, the part that notices your breath is the point of awareness, but to actually know that you are the breath itself. To not only sense and say, I notice that there is this sensation in my belly or this flutter in my heart, but to actually know that you are that as well. It's not this noticing like there's your brain and there's your body, but actually they are one and the same. You are a living, breathing, sensing organism. And so I find that the art of feminine embodiment is really one to be cultivated. We actually know how to be in our bodies from when we were born, or even in the womb. That's all we were, right? This feeling, sensing, being organism that simply is. And somehow along the way, as we grew up, we learned to give priority to the mind's understanding, and we started to override the messages that our body was giving us, not understanding perhaps what it's even saying and ignoring the messages. Think about really simple things, like if you're not hungry, but you're eating, you're overriding the body's intelligence. If you have a headache because you've been staring at a screen too much, instead of maybe getting off of it, and sometimes we take a pill in order to get through it. And so we've really learned how to override the body's wisdom. And embodiment is really about going back into the body, to feel, to sense, and to move from this place. Or perhaps it's utter stillness that your body is actually experiencing right now, and then we can fall into that as well. And so for those of you who are just joining me, welcome. It's good to be here with you today. I can't see who you are on my phone, so if you want to comment and just say hello, I'd love to see who's here. And the topic today is feminine embodiment, and the importance and the value of coming home to the wisdom of our bodies. And so what I want to invite you to do right now is to just close your eyes and take a few breaths. Just put down whatever you're doing right now. Even put the phone down. You don't need to see it. Have your feet somewhere on the earth or a place that you can feel anchored. And softly allow the lids of your eyes to close. And connect to your breath. And yes, there's a part of you that can become aware of your breath. And that's just one access point. The initial portal into the body is noticing your breath, noticing your body. And now the next piece of embodiment is not to only notice your breath, but to notice that you are the breath. Breath, breathing your body, body responding to breath. And then let go of the noticing of your breath and the noticing of your body, and simply be it. Notice that you are the breath. You are your body. And is there a place where you can actually soften the grip of the mind in trying to understand what it is perceiving, and simply be your body, be your breath? You are that. And do this just for a few more moments. And now begin to soften your senses, soften your skin. Fine-tune your sensitivity so that you begin to sense your present moment reality right now from the inside out. And if there is a little bit of movement that starts to happen or is unfolding in the body or in the breath, just also let that be. You're one organism. help to soften your jaw. Just let your lips part a little bit, relax your tongue. And we do this just for a few more breaths. Notice how you are a feeling, sensing human being in its entirety. Good, and if that's a quality that you wish to bring forward with you, and then as you open your eyes, take a deep breath in, soft breath out. Welcome back. And so if you're here, I'd love to hear how that was for you. What was that experience like of not just noticing your breath or your body, but really becoming it? And you can type that into the comments. And so that little tiny practice is one that you can do throughout your day when you notice that you're getting really into your head, stuck in your head where the thoughts are swirling, and you need a moment to pause to remind you to come back inside your body to distill its own inner wisdom. And another part of why I feel that this quality of embodiment is so important is because we are a living experience of life itself. And one of the, I share from Kashmir Shaivism, which is one of the lineages of Tantra. And for many years, I explored Tantra through the texts. Many people think that Tantra is just all about sex and sexual energy, which it is, includes that, but it is certainly not all of that. And so I really studied Tantra from the Tantric texts, the Shiva Sutras, of understanding how this world and this universe came to be. And one of the texts that I love the most, that I highly recommend, is called the Radiant Sutras, as translated by Lauren Roche. And it's this beautiful, poetic story. It's a love story between consciousness and his beloved Shakti. Consciousness is often known as Shiva in Tantra, and Shakti is the feminine principle of life coming into itself, of life experiencing itself. And in that little exercise that we just did, exploration, the part of you that is aware of your breath, aware of your body, that is Shiva. Yeah, it's known as the masculine principle of presence and awareness. We all have masculine and feminine inside us. You can interchange those words to something else if you wish. But just for the basis of this concept, that's what that is this masculine container, presence, awareness, isness. And then you have Shakti. And Shakti is his beloved. Shakti is what births into life. Shakti is our body, our senses, our sensitivity. It is life expressed through us. And yes, Janet's saying the beauty of the plants and sounds are relaxing you. Yeah, all of this around me, all of this around you right now is also Shakti. It is vibrating with life force. And so in this beautiful text of the Radiant Sutras, the moment when Shiva gives way to Shakti, so consciousness, awareness gives way to the birth of life, of reality, and she comes into this world, Shakti, with her eyes wide open, and she looks at all of this around this planet, and she says, whoa, what is this place that I've just landed in? Where am I? Just like a newborn babe, like, wow, here I am on this planet, in this body. And she says, what is this, Shiva, my beloved? Tell me all about this. And he said, I cannot just tell you all about it. This is a lived experience. This life is a lived experience. And that's one of the first lines in this text. And what I love about that is the reminder that our life is not meant to be understood or just witnessed in passing. It's meant to be lived. We are meant to be in our bodies. We are meant to have a direct experience of God, the divine, the universe, source, whatever you want to associate to that which is bigger than us, not through the reading of texts, but through the lived direct experience of being in our bodies. And so what I encourage you today and throughout your days, throughout your weeks, is to invite this quality of feminine embodiment, of Shakti embodiment, to drop into your body any single time that you notice that you're in your mind too much. It's overriding everything else. And to do that really simple practice of becoming your breath and becoming your body. So I hope that that was helpful today. If you're just joining us now, make sure that you rewind and watch the beginning of this Facebook Live share of the Wild Woman Codes, because we did a very simple, potent practice to get into the feeling sense of the body. And again, this is a Wild Woman Codes Facebook Live series that is inspired by Wild Woman Temple, which is a membership portal, an online sanctuary for the Global Sisterhood, for a group of powerful, courageous, inspiring women who are ready to rise on their path of awakening. And inside the portal, every month we explore a theme or a topic. This month is about communication and boundaries, which is super important. And you get a masterclass every month where I share some of the most potent keys to that topic that have made a huge difference in my life, in the lives of hundreds, thousands of women that I've worked with in my life. You also receive an embodiment practice to help you get into the wisdom of your body. And then also the heart of the membership portal is a live temple ritual where we all gather from all of these different time zones and points on the planet to do some really deep work in real person time, where we share, where we have breakout rooms where you get to meet women from around the world and get curious and listen and learn from their lived experience of what it's like to be a woman on the planet for them. And so that portal is opening again very soon. If you want to be on the wait list, just head to my website, alicehong.com/temple, and there's a wait list button there for you right now. And otherwise, I'm going to be hosting a online global event very, very soon. Details are all going to be released in the next few days. So just make sure you look out for that as well, because there's a whole global group of women who are doing this work, and would love for you to be a part of it. So that's all for me today. I'm going to go maybe jump into the water that's behind me. I'm in Costa Rica right now with my partner, his daughter, and enjoying some family time. And sending big love and kiss to wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope that this was helpful. And next week I'll be coming back and talking about pleasure and leading from pleasure, which is a delicious, juicy topic to call more of in your life as well. Okay, thank you so much. And thank you, Danielle, for being here. Yeah, you're so welcome for these practices. Yeah, thank you, Janet, for being here, Alice, for being here. And if there's anybody else that I missed because I can't see you, just thank you so much for spending some time together this morning. Much love.